Well, with the warming August winds brought further welcome gains across the sector, albeit not the same growth rates achieved in last month's bump up. The industry gained $1.48 in ADS, which settled into the 250-day mark. Now, as October 1st is upon us, providers will need to ensure they are in their final approach to aligning their case mixes to the mandated care minute targets of their facilities. As per the department's webinar on the 5th of September, where providers not meeting their care minute obligations and are placing consumers at risk or harm, or are being willfully non-compliant, enforcement action will be taken by the Safety and Quality Commission as their new powers become legislated. This will bring a new era in a provider's approach to subsidy management. And as we say, if you take the money, you got to do the time. Now, total claiming activity, when reported as of the first week of September, was down around 0.75%, apart from the specialized homeless facility type classifications. Now, it's important to remember, though, that claiming activity is retroactively applied to the date of request or admission of your consumers. Therefore, it isn't uncommon for these numbers to adjust slightly in the subsequent months as the AMOs attend our services and clear their backlog of reclassification requests. Now, voluntary claiming was down slightly from July, but we did see some modest gain in modified Monash 5 facility types, which are typically the regional sites being affected by the RN shortages. This culminated in pushing the average age of ANAC classifications up to 58% of all claims now being older or greater than 12 months since their last review. It is also important to note that ANAC funding started on October 1st of last year. The date of review on your claims can apply back to as early as 2021 or 2022, depending on when the shadow assessments occurred. When reporting on this figure, we are reporting on the ANAC date of review. Permanent admissions picked up through August, breaking through the 88% occupied bed days. With resident movement growth, this introduced another metric for facilities to keep an eye on with regards to your care minutes. Now, as residents fluctuate across each month or reporting quarter, the more consumers at site will absorb more of those total available care minutes within your budgeted rosters. Even though we aren't experiencing the higher occupancy averages as we did in the early 2016 year, we have more consumers entering residential aged care than ever before. This graph showing residential occupancy, industry places, and active residents tells that story. No wonder providers feel busier each year as their occupancy metrics stay relatively unchanged. Short-term admissions continue to trend around the 23% of all resident admissions, being less than 6 months, and the occupancy levels were supported by the conversion of about 7% new permanent admissions across the sector. A key driver of that appears to be coming from the respite day usage rates, which were up 13.5% over August. And the profile of a residential admission is a slightly younger, 85-year-old consumer. Now, as the end of August completes our target-setting quarter and our final month before care minutes become mandatory, we saw that the regulator was presenting how they will regulate compliance to care minutes from October. As a result, further gains in direct care were achieved on a resident per bed day basis, and the RN minutes also posted a slight gain to just shy of 33 minutes worked on a per resident per day basis as well. And with the readjusted role of allied health in facilities, post the ACVI world, we are now seeing continued growth in the allied health teams achieving just shy of 13 minutes worked on a resident per day basis.